Hi friends, it's Miss King. We are going to right now complete your figurative language section on pages 10 through 12 of your Unit 1 narrative writing notes. If you're not there right now, let's get there and we will get started. So language types, we are going to be focusing on figurative language, which is descriptive and imaginative language. It conveys not just the facts, but also an idea, and typically it kind of paints a picture in your head, so it's linked closely to imagery. In addition to figurative language, we also have literal language, which is just straightforward and factual. I'm going to tell you exactly what I mean, that sort of stuff. Okay, for the figurative language, we're going to learn about metaphors, similes, personifications, and hyperboles. I'm expecting that a lot of this is going to be review for you, so much of this section of notes is going to be practice review based. So first off, simile. A simile is a technique where a comparison is made using like or as. So for example, they are like two peas in a pod. What am I comparing? I'm comparing them to two peas in a pod. Second example, she is as loud as an ambulance siren. I'm comparing the girl to an ambulance siren, specifically about how loud she is. Warning, because this is something that other kids have messed up in the past, and this is not what we're going to be messing up right now. Just because a sentence has the word like or as in it doesn't mean that it's a simile. If there's no comparison, you don't have a simile, even if the words like or as are in it. Okay, what you're going to do, because this is mostly review-based, you're going to do a practice for me right now. Please go ahead and complete the first 3 similes, filling in the rest of the simile however your heart desires, and then I'd like you to write 2 original similes. So the first 3, you're going to finish the sentence, the car was like a blank, and then creating a comparison to create a simile. For number 2, the ball zoomed into the hoop like a blank. And number 3, my love for you is as blank as the blank. Go ahead and pause the video now so that you can complete that practice. Coming on back, friends. Number 1, the car was like a rocket is my example. If you struggled to think of one for that, go ahead and get that down. Number 2, the ball zoomed into the hoop like a bullet. Again, if you didn't get anything down and you were on the struggle bus, please go ahead and get that recorded. And then number 4, I'm going to give you an original one of Miss King's. Her singing sounded like a dying whale. Okay, again, note that there is a comparison taking place in addition to like or as, and those 2 things together make the sentences a simile. If I don't have the word like or as, and I don't have a comparison, it cannot be a simile. Next up, metaphor. Metaphors are similar to similes because both of these are comparisons. The difference here is that a metaphor does not use the words like or as. Simply, thing A is presented to be the same thing as thing B. So for example, she was fairly certain that life, thing A, was a fashion show, thing B. I'm just saying that life is a fashion show. There's no like or as needed there. For number 2, his cotton candy, meaning kind of fluffy, there's no substance, he doesn't actually mean what he's saying. His cotton candy words did not appeal to her taste, meaning those words, they are like cotton candy. And then last, the cast on Ryan's broken leg was a plaster shackle. The cast is a shackle. Please go ahead and complete the multiple choice practice. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to do that right now. Next, please complete the 2 metaphors and then write 2 original metaphors. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to do that. Coming on back. Number 1, her eyes were diamonds glittering in the dark. So I've compared her eyes to diamonds by just saying that her eyes are in fact diamonds. Number 3, an original metaphor. Time is a thief stealing our seconds away from us. In this case, I'm comparing time to a thief, and I just do that by saying that time is a thief. I'm not saying it's like a thief or it's I'm just saying it's like a thief. I'm just saying it is a thief. I'm not doing any sort of like or as motions there. Okay, next one, personification. We'll see if I can say this properly. A personification is a figure of speech in which human characteristics are given to non-human things. So I always like to remember that in personification, I have the word person, which is why I remember that this is talking about characteristics of people, of persons. Your first example, The heat ripped the breath from her lungs. The heat is the non-human thing that is being personified. The subject of the personification is being personified. That's how we refer to it. So the heat ripped the breath. The heat can't actually physically reach out and rip the breath from you. It doesn't have arms to be able to do that. So the heat is what's being personified, and ripped is that human characteristic it has been given. And the leaves danced in the wind, same thing. Leaves are being personified. What they're doing is dancing, but they can't actually physically do that. Okay, please go ahead and complete your practices in each sentence. Underline the non-human object that is given human characteristics and circle what the human characteristics are. Go ahead and pause the video while you do that. Coming on back, I'm just going to do that first one for you. The sleeping water reflected the evening sky clearly. So I've got the water is what's being personified because we know the water can actually sleep. Moving on to hyperbole. A hyperbole is an exaggeration. You probably use these all the time. They're used to impress somebody or stress a point. So I told you 1,000,000 times to sit down. Did I actually tell you 1,000,000 times? No, but I'm stressing that I've told you a couple of times and now I'm frustrated. So his book bag weighs a ton. Does it actually physically weigh a ton? No, but I'm stressing the fact that it weighs quite a bit by exaggerating how much it weighs. In your practice, please write 3 original hyperboles. Some things that you might often exaggerate about include the temperature or weather, how early you get up or how late you go to sleep, and how much homework you have. Once you finish that, please go back through this figurative language section and make sure everything is filled out.